Welcome to the Powerful Komiksman podcast. This is Jerald Dorado. Alright, so we are at number 12 on our 40 Life Wisdom at 40. This is a special series for to commemorate my 40th birthday upcoming. Okay, so the 40 years of existence of planet Earth of me, your host Gerald, and I just want to share some life lessons that I follow, that I believe in, and hopefully you can get something and make it useful in your life as well. Okay, so this podcast is brought to you by Lux Cakes. Check out at hello.mutualuxcakes on Facebook and Instagram. That's at hello.miuccia. It is our little online pastry shop where you can get vegan stuff, vegan cakes, wedding cakes, cookies, and other surprising vegan treats, sweets. Check it out. All right, so let's go on with the 40 Life Wisdom at 40 series. Okay, so again, we are at number 12. And at number 12, we have focus on doing worthwhile things or do worthwhile things. Okay, so we have the the Rob Schneider GIF from The Water Boy. This is a very famous one and very funny. I always use this GIF to comment on Facebook. Yeah, he's saying, "You can do it." Basta ang ganda ng timing niyan in the movie. One of the funny scenes, and well, I think uh, with number 12, focus on doing worthwhile things. Worthwhile things. So what to you is a worthwhile thing or worthwhile achievement, worthwhile tasks, something that's important, something that has impact, not just for you, not just but also to other people, your family, the ones that are dear to you, the society even, and even the entire humanity, diba? And these are achievements that could last, and these are not brief satis um these are not brief moments of satisfaction. This is not instant gratification. This is something more and usually a lot harder to do. Okay, so this is something that you would put time to build, and much more efforts to achieve. Okay, so kasi if you are whenever you have someone, it always you always put value on things that you worked on. There's this one, if you're familiar with the NAS videos, one of it's it is the spin-off of NAS Daily. So he's the, I think, Jewish guy, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, Palestinian. The Palestinian guy who created this Facebook series of 1 minute daily videos for 1,000 times. Yeah, 1,000 episodes. And he traveled all over the world to create those 1 minute videos. And it is very successful. And one of the videos, this is after the 1,000 videos, the 1 minute something. But in one of his videos, he shared an experience na parang nag ano sila, they offered free accommodation sa isang hotel dun sa hometown yata nila yun eh, somewhere in Palestine. And ano siya, it's open to everyone. Parang it it was supposed to be charity work, 'di ba? Charity work dapat 'yun eh. But kumbaga parang to help fellow travelers na makamura, 'di ba? And to them, no, that was the plan. But something unexpected happened when when they went for it, when they tried it. Kasi even though it's free, people started, akala nila para once they open it, parang in a matter of hours, puno na yung booking nila eh. It wasn't so, di ba? Nagulat sila, that wasn't the case. At mas nagulat pa sila when people eventually canceled their reservations. Kumbaga libre na yun. Tapos parang, wala lang, ay, they did not mind losing. Diba? So, it was mind-blowing to them and was a real eye-opener. And the conclusion that they came up with is that parang it's something about not valuing, kumbaga it's human nature for people not to value things that they did not work for. Kumbaga ba, the free stuff, kumbaga yung hindi mo masyadong binigyan ng halaga kasi binigay lang sa iyo eh. Kumbaga you don't have it in your hands and you did not work for it. So there is no labor connected. There is no sacrifice on your part that is connected to to that uh, to that, I don't know, commodity, 'di ba? Whether it's a hotel booking, or let's say a cell phone, or something na alam mo yun, a t-shirt. Typically, especially if it doesn't come from somebody that's special for you, like your parents or your girlfriend, boyfriend, 'di ba? So it's that's one aspect of it. Parang it's not worthwhile for you kasi hindi mo pinaghirapan. So it's the same thing with the things that you would want to do, your achievements. If it's something na parang was just handed over to you, I don't know, maybe you have a rich parent, 'di ba? Or you have you happen to be a favorite of somebody, 'di ba? Although it's not your fault, eh kung pinanganak ka na ano eh, mayaman kayo, 'di ba? Ano magagawa mo? Well, kumbaga, be thankful and be appreciative. Pero iba pag iba yung fulfillment when you get to accomplish something na you think is worthwhile. Kasi worthwhile is also subjective to each and every one. So what is worthwhile for me may not be as special to somebody else, 'di ba? If let's say creating creating art or having an exhibit, 'di ba, in a gallery, that would be nothing for somebody who has no interest in painting or creating art, 'di ba? Pero alam mo 'yun, it's gonna be it's you will define your experiences, and your aspirations will define what is worthwhile for you. So, and do not be ashamed kung yun yung kung dun sa magpapasaya sa'yo, di ba? That is your choice. As long as wala kang tinatapakan na tao, as long as hindi mo aspiration na magunaw ang mundo, di ba? Okay yan. Uh, But of course, kasama dyan, you have to be responsible kung ano man yung binabalak mong gawin. But let's just say there's no malice intended. Let's just use kasi nagiging komplikado lang pag kumbaga pag umaandar kasi utak ko right now. I'm not reading any scripts by the way. So I'm just freestyling all of this things that I'm talking about. Diba? So sometimes my thoughts get dragged somewhere else and I start considering things that are not so relevant to the entire picture of what of the topic, 'di ba? Pero let's just say na it's uh, kumbaga noble yung intentions mo. A typical person, 'di ba? That you of course magkakaiba-iba yung gusto mong mangyari kasi magkakaiba tayo ng paths na tinatahak. Pero you would also know personally na kung yung ginagawa mo is worthwhile or not. Kasi if it's not worthwhile and you think you are just wasting your time, let's like say you're addicted to mobile games. Sometimes ganun ako eh. There was a time where I got really addicted to Overwatch. Almost 3 months akong almost 3 months talaga akong unproductive nun. Which is, pag iniisip ko, wow, it's so embarrassing. It doesn't feel good. Although, nag-enjoy ako doon, habang naglalaro ako, after after stopping the game, I just feel like a loser. Diba? And even sometimes naglalaro ako sa I should be doing something else, more productive. Pero hindi ko mapigilan yung sarili ko. Talagang napapalaro ako. So, it took me a while but eventually I snapped and made the decision to uninstall the game. And kasi it's not healthy and it's taking hours and hours of my day that I could have used to do something much more productive, 'di ba? I'm not saying you should not play games, that playing games is not productive kasi one, if you are a pro gamer, then definitely that is your job, 'di ba? Especially if you're making tons of money from it. Pero even if you're not, gaming could be your way to have a break and the way to de-stress. Those things are important too, 'di ba? Maybe that keeps your mental health that keeps you sane, 'di ba? Pero like as the cliche goes, everything that is too much becomes a bad thing, 'di ba? So if it's consuming your time and the returns is not satisfactory or destructive pa nga kung minsan, then you should recognize the problem na parang, man, this is not healthy for me anymore. You should have the fortitude to accept that to yourself. And that would go to anything else. Sometimes, ano mo yun, eating, di ba? Pero syempre, if you're gonna eating too much, that's what I meant, di ba? Any kind of addiction, di ba? Or yun pa kahit ultimately kahit drugs, di ba? Or just patambay-tambay ka lang. Or hanging out pointlessly. So, I'm sure you know a lot of things na pag sumobra sa'yo is hindi na healthy. I don't need to enumerate them one by one. Pero if you can determine something that you know would give you fulfillment. Kasi I'm sure there's something na parang life goal mo, na parang you need to constantly work to achieve that, 'di ba? For me, I think this podcast, a project of mine, itong The Powerful Comicsman podcast, I think this is a worthwhile thing to do, 'di ba? Sometimes it's you think sometimes there are things na parang you would feel na it is worthwhile, and then after a while hindi na. May mga ganun din, 'di ba? Like let's say when I used to have a band many years ago, 'di ba? During nung nagwo-work ako sa office before I went freelance. I used to have a band. I used to sing for a band, and I was very excited kasi matagal ko nang gustong magbanda ulit eh. Kasi I used to have a band in high school and college. Pero walang nangyari din sa mga bands na yun. So when I had the opportunity again in my late 20s na. So parang wow, excited ako. Pero until I realized na parang wala ring patutunguhan yung band na yun. And then slowly, it did not feel like it's worthwhile na parang sasama pa ako sa mga gigs. So it has, kumbaga yung enthusiasm ko was burned up already to the point na parang it it just felt like I was wasting my time, na parang okay. Well, ano parang I was just weighing yung feelings ko na parang okay, magigig kami pero alam ko hanggang dito na lang 'yan kasi I wanted to do more for that band. Na parang I wanted to create original songs, mga ganun, and release albums eventually. But my bandmates were not, hindi sila masyadong ano din eh. Hindi sila nangangati na gawin yun. Parang they keep talking about that, pero yung enthusiasm na I want to see from my bandmates, hindi ko nakikita. And so I lost I lost my enthusiasm then eventually. But that's um but then again, there are projects na na gusto mo talagang mangyari, na parang it would suck for you if you leave this world na hindi mo nagawa. 'Di ba? For me, I want to come back and create a graphic novel na talagang there's this story that I'm writing that I wanted to finish, and that's one of my life goals, and also to continue this podcast, this continue TPKP, and kasi you will know if it's worthwhile if every time you finish a project you feel great, 'di ba? Iba yung sense of fulfillment. When I was when I was in the band na kinukwento ko kanina, nung peak ng talagang enthusiasm ko doon, every time I go up on stage, it's just kumbaga parang I would never trade to be anywhere else, 'di ba, than there. Talagang nandun talaga yung enthusiasm mo, and every time that we do a great show, makikita mo yung yung masaya ka talaga. There is a kind of high that that you cannot explain, and cannot be replicated by anything else. Kasi dun mo lang talaga makukuha yun. And it will always involve, whenever you get that kind of high, it would always involve something that is very worthwhile for you. Kasi there are lots of there are lots of pleasurable activities na alam mo yun, na masarap gawin pero hindi ganun ka fulfilling, 'di ba? Like, let's say I don't know, uh let's say kumbaga you spend lots and lots of money pero hindi naman sa'yo yun, 'di ba? Hindi yan parang okay, ang dami mong pera pero hindi naman ikaw yung nagpakahirap para may pambili ka. To some people, that's that's parang that is not fulfilling. Parang that would bother them. Or let's say you are involved in a relationship, a sexual relationship with somebody na hindi mo naman mahal, 'di ba? You feel the pleasure when you are when you're having sex. Pero afterwards, you feel bland, 'di ba? Hindi it ends instantaneously, instantly, 'di ba? And it's not fulfilling, and eventually yung lack of fulfillment would be parang would be torment, 'di ba? It will eventually be replaced by torment. And it's alam mo yun, of course it's not gonna be good for you to be tormented, to feel tormented. But then again, when a lot of people kasi would settle for these kinds of things because they don't think they are they are either they are not capable of doing something grand, or two, they're not qualified, they think they're not qualified, 'di ba? Again, papasok diyan yung number 2 ba 'yon sa ating life wisdom? No. Number 4 pala, 'di ba? Parang you, somebody's gonna do it anyway. So why can't it be you? Might as well be you, 'di ba? Pero sometimes you would feel like let like before I started this, back to my previous example, dun sa number 4 nga, before I started doing the podcast, I was having doubts kasi sino ba ako, 'di ba? Why would people listen to me? I wouldn't listen to me. 'Di ba? Kumbaga parang anong karapatan ko para alam mo 'yun, some of you might even think na sino ba tong hayop na tong sinesermonan ako? At bakit ba ako nakikinig sa kanya, 'di ba? So you would feel you feel inadequacy, you would feel um you would feel na yun nga, inadequate ka at wala kang karapatan to be there. But you're wrong, 'di ba? Kasi everyone who has been put into any position na to be heard probably thought the same, probably felt the same. Yung iba baka napilitan lang din, yung iba just came to they just went for it, and then later on, next thing they know, may nakikinig na sa kanila. The same thing happened to me, 'di ba? Even though I was questioning myself, my qualification to do the podcast, later I just went for it, and next thing I know, may mga nagfa-follow na sa podcast, and I was getting comments na positive, na alam mo yun, encouraging me. Some are thanking me to na ginawa ko yun. The podcast had been helpful. And those are great things. Those are encouragement. Especially dun sa mga hindi mo naman talaga kilala. Pero, um, it's ano eh, it's, uh, it's because I chose to do something that is worthwhile. Diba? Kasi, sa totoo lang, pwede naman akong magano eh. Pwede naman akong mag Overwatch na nga lang ulit eh. 'Di ba? Pwede it's gonna be destructive and it will derail a lot of my plans. Pero I do have that choice. Pero I should choose to do something better. Kasi we only have one shot. We only have one shot. We only have one life. We only have a very limited time of youth. That's why actually a big part of why I created this 40 at 40 thing is because the older I get, the more I realize how short our lifetime or our time are gonna be here on earth. Yung ang unti ng oras na buhay tayo at meron tayong lakas to do it. 'Di ba? As I'm sure you've if matagal na kayong nakikinig sa akin, you have heard me over and over saying youth is wasted on the young. And the older I get, the truer and truer that phrase becomes. And so you should not, if you can, kasi madaling magsabi na mahirap, madaling magsabi sa mga advice, lalo na sa mga mas bata, pero ang hirap maka-convince. And even if the if I kung sinasabihan ko yung batang sarili ko, maaring makinig ako, pero baka hindi ko pa rin gawin lahat. 'Di ba? May tigas ng ulo ko eh. At saka may meron kang there is there is this kind of I would say arrogance na nanggagaling sa kabataan mo eh. If you are in your early 20s, do not be offended. Kumbaga, naging early 20s din ako. And what I observed from my own experiences and to my friends, meron talaga na parang, oh shit, kala ko forever na magiging normal ang blood pressure ko. Kala ko forever na, let's say, kung may abs ka, forever tong abs na to. Putya, hindi ako tumataba kahit kain ako ng kain. Di ba? Eventually, magbabago yan. Magbabago ang metabolism mo. Magbabago ang mga trip mo sa buhay. Magbabago ang lifestyle mo. Just look at yung mga artista, 'di ba? Yung mga artista na dati, let's say Angel Locsin, 'di ba? She used to be the hottest chick in the Philippines. I'm not saying she's ugly now. Alam mo yun, Angel Locsin is still one of the hottest chicks in the Philippines. Hottest women. Pero iba na yung itsura niya ngayon, 'di ba? And that's not being hateful. It's just makikita mo talaga na objectively iba na yung itsura niya. And even let's say si Richard Gomez, during his day, he was the absolute stud sa Pilipinas, sa showbiz. Ngayon, hindi na siya iba na yung katawan niya, 'di ba? And lahat lahat ng tao, kahit hindi artista, kahit mga kilala mo lang, it's father time always wins, 'di ba? Wala kang panalo. And being young, again, there is that arrogance that you get from your youth, that you think you are invincible, that you are somehow, even though you know that you will grow old and eventually die, you just don't feel it, 'di ba? So, ang lakas ko pa rin uminom, 'di ba? Nung bata, if you are younger, right, if you are younger right now, maybe you can drink 15 bottles of Red Horse sa isang gabi. May mga kilala akong ganun. Ako, hanggang anim lang ako eh. Anim, siguro 8 na yung pinaka madami kong nainom. Mga 8 na yon. Pero pag magdamagan yun, or you take pride in pulling all-nighters na magkakasunod. Alam mo yun, those are parang you wear, when you're young, you wear it as a badge of honor pa eh. Na shit, wala akong tulog, 'di ba? Kasi kaya mo pa. Habang tumatanda ka, pabawas ng pabawas 'yun. Pabawas ng pabawas yung capability mo to do that. Kung nakaka 15 bottles ka nun, or kung nakaka-6 na bote ako noon, ngayon parang hindi ko nagagawin yun. Siguro maximum na sa akin yung, right now siguro hanggang 4, pwede pa ako. 4 na Red Horse. Pero more than that, I don't see the point anymore. 'Di ba? Bakit ako magpapakalasing? Well, alam mo yun, if you are still doing that and you find it enjoyable, I'm not saying you should stop it, pero like I said kanina, magkakaiba tayo ng priorities, magkakaiba tayo ng ng idea from what is worthwhile. Pero I think we can all agree that being a worthwhile thing would be something that enriches other people, not just yourself, other people, and something na ma-appreciate ng madaming tao, not just yourself again, and something that could be enduring. Diba? Let's say you write a novel, that would be immortality, di ba? Kahit patay ka na, pwede pa rin basahin ng mga tao yon, di ba? Yung mga ganong klase, or something na way beyond, something that's more than you. Maybe an advocacy, di ba? Parang you plant trees, mga ganyan. Or you save stray dogs, kunyari. Kasi if you keep on wasting time on useless things, you will eventually regret it. Kasi time nga passes by real quick. Real quick. Na, alam mo yun, now that I'm 40, if let's say I am fortunate enough to reach 80, so basically, what yung buong experiences ko from my birth until now, kung gaano katagal yun, that would be the rest of my life. Kung aabot ako ng 80. 'Di ba? Meron na akong, I can already quantify kasi na-experience ko na kung gaano kahaba ang isang dekada. And it's It's hard to accept sometimes na kasi more or less alam mo na kung anong pwedeng mangyari within 10 years. And within 10 years, I'm gonna be 50. 'Di ba? I'm gonna be 50. Madami, kumbaga may mga gusto pa akong gawin. Am I gonna be healthy by the time I'm 50? Am I gonna be richer or poorer? 'Di ba? Of course you're gonna try your best na maging mas okay ka in the future. Pero still, those are uncertainties. And sometimes it's scary to ponder about such things. So while you can do worthwhile things, focus on 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 things that would create impact. Kasi wouldn't it be nice kahit kahit for a brief moment sa history, somebody would remember you, 'di ba? It's kumbaga that's why nakalagay dito, you can do it. Yung GIF niya. Kasi again, if somebody is gonna do worthwhile things and people can do it, you have seen people do it, then why can't you do it as well? Kumbaga, do make your mark. Maybe that's another way of putting this. Try to make your mark, 'di ba? Or see to it that you can make your mark in this world. Either it is for just one person, be um a positive source, a source of positivity for some people, a source of joy, a source of care, a source of stability for someone or a group of people. Those are worthwhile things that that could make your life fulfilling, 'di ba? Kasi let's face it, kung mag-ML ka ng mag-ML diyan, tapos hindi ka naman sikat, 'di ba? Hindi ka naman nag-stream, hindi ka naman, then that's it. As soon as you turn off your cell phone, it's over. Maybe you are thinking na parang hindi ko naman pangarap 'yan eh, 'di ba? Hindi ko naman pangarap 'yan eh. Pero I think if you can feel na siguro I'm saying this kasi I'm an artist. I have done things that affected people. And I want to share that that kind of fulfillment. Gusto kong maranasan din ng mga tao yung ganong klaseng feeling. Kasi it's something else. It's something that it is a positive thing na pwede mong gawin sa mundo. And I'm telling you, you can do that as well. You can affect lives. You can make people happy, diba? Just by doing something that maybe you already love doing in the first place. So that is that option. So if you can do it, then why not? Why not try? Okay, so that's that is the number 12 in my 40 life wisdom at 40. Check out the previous episodes, and check out the rest of the series. Follow it if you're catching this as it goes, or if you discovered it after the 40 entries are already published, then thank you for listening. And please follow the Powerful Comics Man podcast. We are on Spotify and all other podcast platforms, and YouTube and Facebook. All right, that's it. Powerful Comics Man podcast.